Hey everyone, Monica Bodierski here, artist, author, advisor, walker between the worlds, and many other things. Are you interested in using tarot for spell work? I know I am, and I use it quite frequently. The technique, of using cards and the symbols on cards to enhance spell work and help me focus. So stay tuned, that's what today's video is about. And don't forget, if you actually like these videos, please like, subscribe, comment. Thank you so much for your support.
Welcome to Shadow.
Hey everyone, Monica here. Whew, if I look a little like a hot mess, it's 'cause I am. I spent the day in a beautiful workshop with wonderful people talking about rewilding garden space. That was pretty magical. It was a little bit warm outside. Shouldn't complain because, well, I don't know. It seems to be a really good pastime though, right? Complain about the weather. Speaking of complaining about the weather, if you ever wondered how witches change the weather, they can. If you wondered how to use tarot and spellcasting, that's what I'd like to talk to you about. I've always used symbolism as ways of empowering. That can go from tattoos to sigils that you may draw in the air or on your forehead or just in your space to have some kind of symbolism. It really does help us focus, and they do carry very special and specialized meaning. So the same would hold for tarot cards, yes? You bet. They do for me. So what I'd like to do is share a few tips on how to do spellcasting with tarot. So, number one, pick a deck you like to work with. Of course, I am working with the Shadowland Tarot because, as I may have mentioned in the past, I know the artist and author. I kind of like the familiarity of the imagery because I'm never quite sure if I wrote or articulated everything I needed to in the accompanying book. Although thank you for your feedback. Most of you have been very kind in telling me that it's very comprehensive. And but still, images can speak to you in a different way. And that's why I always say you don't need to use the book. It's good to have the artist or author's point of view and use it with your own point of view and what you're picking up from the card. So this is what I'm doing when I use my own card. Sometimes that just bypasses the left side of our brain, that judgment side, and we get a feeling and it hits us right away. So, number two, what intention do you have? This can be anything from I'd like to be on time to work, I'd like to be more mindful of my schedule, I'd like to plan a little bit better, to, I could really use extra income. Often spells, just like questions in tarot, are about relationships, finances, our home, our family, and all of those wonderful things, our health. So, what is your intention? You cannot do spell work unless you have one. All right? Next, after you have your intention, I'd like you to look through the deck that you chose. So, for example, I have an intention. I'm laughing about it because, well, it comes and goes. It's a frequent intention during certain times of the year, and it is to write. Now, I write a lot. Not that I share that a lot with people because I guess I'm more familiar with visual arts and I kind of hide the writing at times just out of insecurity. But practice makes perfect. You got to write if you ever want to get better. And sometimes it doesn't matter what it is. It's not journaling. I tend to write creative fiction, speculative type, as well as some very straightforward how-tos. Regardless, I am going to pull a card that represents writing. Now, depending on your deck, that can be any energy. I would recommend, however, you give the Queen of Swords a try. Because I designed this deck, you'll note that the Queen of Swords has a pen and or pencil or writing implement in her or his hand. Could be a guy. Guys have chicken feet and dresses. And in front of a bookshelf. Okay, so why the chicken feet? Creativity, creative. Why the hair over the face? Looking inward, very reflexive state, personal, okay? And implying you need a little quiet time to do your writing. So this card is perfect for the altar. Your altar. Place your card on your altar where you can see it. Now, I know that's tough if you're using your deck for reading all the time. Maybe you have two favorite decks, or maybe you can use a deck that you just like the symbol for somebody writing, whatever that card is, and read with another deck, okay? And I know a lot of you have two of everything, so I hear. Although I think you're supposed to keep one in the package. I don't know. I tend to use my stuff a little bit. So, there you go. Doesn't that seem simple? Well, then what do? Whatever feels comfortable for you, spell casting. If you are Wiccan and you wish to open the quarters and you wish to use whatever correspondences you've been taught or that are from your favorite book, all fine. I can tell you on my altar, it's dedicated to ancestors and dedicated to the environment and holds a lot of very personal objects. For me, it is a power place. So the point of the altar is that it's a locus of energy so that you can achieve what it is you are setting out to achieve. And that's where your intent comes into play. Because if your altar is supercharged and you are supercharged and the two come together, that's where the magic happens. So it's also a mnemonic device and a reminder when I see it on my altar every day, oh yes, I intended to write. And if your magic is working correctly, blocks will diminish because you're thinking about it more. And you know what? I really feel that your energy and your intention gets metaphysical. It turns into an energy that is not easy to define, and I don't think any of us really can. We just know when we're connecting to some kind of, I don't know, energetic slipstream. There are people with lots of theories and lots of ideas that are very fixed. Mine are a little more fluid. I don't need to know. I just know it feels good. I'm putting out very positive energy when I am spellcasting, and I pick powerful times like the full moon. Timing. If you want to do it on a day that feels empowering to you, some people pick Jupiter because Thursday's a day of expansion and of career and success and abundance. You know, that's Thursday. Thor's Day. That's powerful. There's lots of different correspondences from different cultures. And you might have a day your own that's called something I'm totally unfamiliar with that has a particular strength to it. You could pick the day you were born or any day that really feels powerful to you. And when you do your altar work and you put all those ingredients together, that's how the tarot card is coming into play. Does the card actually hold the magic? No, you do, my friend. But your directed focus of energy, along with the image, along with the energy you've placed on your altar and work with regularly, because that's how it works for me. The more you work with the energy, the stronger it gets. Then you are likely to have a successful outcome. Now, one other thing before we go, and you give this a try. A second card. If you find that it is just too simplistic to say writing, you can use any number of cards. You could use a whole string of cards if you want. Here I have the Seeker, okay? And this Seeker card for me, as you may know, is headless with the cat pointing because the Seeker is trusting their intuition, the cat representing intuition. So maybe it's also the beginning of a journey. It is. So maybe I would pair, you got it, the Seeker with the Queen of Swords so that I can begin the journey. It's pretty easy once you start thinking of it that way and you start building sentences. So I could even have the Page, Queen, King. Page, Knight, Queen, King. Yeah, that's it. Only been doing this for how many years? In sequence, to show the progression of growth as far as the craft and maturing in the craft. Remember, no genders here. These are stages of development and going from very insular to within the home space to wandering and learning and to sharing your gifts with the world. In a nutshell, that's how I see court cards. So you can see that you can make it a little more complicated. You can keep it really simple. Give that spell casting a try with your tarot. I am anxious to hear out about how it works and if you had success. And if you didn't, stay tuned for another video helping you get through those rough parts with spells when they just don't seem to work. Okay, everyone, thank you very much for watching. Have yourselves a great week and don't forget to comment. Bye-bye.